Hello everyone, this is Janet Capper with the Social Life Production, where we are connecting the world through faith, culture, and entertainment. If you watched any of my interviews or conversations, you know that I always say I am super excited because I am here at Zoewee's Liberian restaurant with the one and only Miss Konor, which I call her Aunty Konor, but I'm going to have her introduce herself and then we'll get into the conversation.
My name is Konor Kandakai. I'm the proprietor of Zoewee's restaurant. First of all, I would like to give my almighty praise and the honor for being with us through the 15 years we have been in existence. And my customers, they are the greatest.
Yes indeed. And the food here, good. But we'll get into that in a moment. We're here today because, as I told you, we're celebrating, of course, we're celebrating July 26th, which is Liberia's independence. And I'm highlighting all things Liberia. The culture, the food, the people, just our way of life, right? And so I felt the need to come to Zoewee's today because Aunty Konor is what I call her. Aunty Konor has been a part of this community. I don't know, how many years you've been here in Charlotte?
For the longest.
For the longest, right? Well, since I was a baby, right? But she's one of those aunties and those community leaders that has influenced and helped to raise generation of kids, right? And so I want to speak to her. I want to first ask you this simple yet probably hard question. What does it mean to be a Liberian, according to you and your experience? What does it mean to be a Liberian?
To be a Liberian, I'm very proud to be a Liberian because we have a good upbringing, we have good culture, and good Christian foundation.
Yes, yeah, it's various reasons, right? And the reason why I asked that question is because depending upon what part of Liberia you represent, right? So of course you were born there on the continent, you've been here for years. If I ask someone who's there currently, they may have something else to say. Me as a first generation Liberian American, my experience is totally different. I have something, a different perspective, but overall, there's not one answer, right? It's just what your life experience is, but what I know we share a common goal of that unity, of that grit as Liberians. So thank you for providing your perspective. So next I want to kind of talk about your history here in Charlotte, right? So Zoewee's didn't start with just Zoewee's. It started way before this establishment was opened up 15 years ago. Now your beautiful daughter, Bakisa, she reminded me of the history. She reminded me of when you guys were living, I believe, off Central Avenue when you used to cook, right? And how you always had a passion for cooking and serving. Do you want to talk about that inception of Zoewee's and, of course, where you are now?
Yes. I started cooking from Rose Haven Drive.
Yes, Rose Haven.
As a single parent, it enabled me to support my children.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was now also a mother and aunt to my children, to other children that are
Yes.
in shadow, the young generation that are in shadow at that time.
Yes. And I'm definitely one of those individuals. And one thing I want to call out, in which I think is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
I was a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an adult. And she still looks young. And I'm getting older. What are you drinking?
Water.
Can you share? I mean, so y'all just gonna let us get old and y'all stay young? I don't get it. But that is the beauty of Liberian women, right? Just beautiful, hard workers, a lot of grit, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But their face stay youthful, right? And so I'm being funny, but also serious of talking about the beauty, not only externally but internally. One thing that your daughter Kisa mentioned in reference to that time is just the memories of the fun of the people coming in and out, and seeing the consistency of just your work ethic, right? Which has passed down generations. There's been times when I'll be tired and I'll look at my aunt and I'm like, I'm complaining? She has more reasons to complain, but she's still going. So thank you for just being an example, not only as a woman, but for entrepreneurship and business and cooking, because she can cook. So what does the name Zoewee's come from? Why did you select that as the name of your Liberian restaurant?
I had a restaurant in Liberia. When I went back Liberia, it was like after the war, and businesses were closed down, and people really didn't have like decent restaurants. So I decided to open a restaurant in Liberia where I will be able to serve my people and to bring back the old Liberian feeling that we grew up with.
Love it, love it, love it. And so when it comes to the food, because people who don't know or haven't experienced Liberian food, they are missing out. They're not living yet, right?
Yes.
Describe the richness and the deliciousness of our food.
We cook right from the pot. We cook from the bottom up. And we're using a lot of organic things like rare home cooking. And when we cook, we're cooking with love.
Love.
And we cook and remember the training. Our parents trained us how to cook, how to be clean. Like one time my grandfather told me, say to be ready and healthy Christian, say you have to be clean. Say cleanliness is close to godliness.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And nobody wants to eat from anybody that's dirty or don't have, clean, healthy practices. And so that's just a quality about Zoewe's. Your food is prepared in a clean environment. But when she talked about the food, the richness, and even how she described how she learned, a lot of times my friends will ask, oh, can you show me how to make this? Or, not show me, but give me the recipe. I don't have any recipes. We learned by watching. And by way of watching, we were able to mimic and implement. And that's being passed down to generations. Zoewe's is very busy, it's very popular. It takes a team, right? But when you speak about the leadership team, speak about who's helping you at the top to execute this business.
Okay, thanks to the Almighty God that I have Mr. Ernest Hammer. He's the rabbi of the restaurant.
Yes.
Does the running around.
Yes.
Does everything you put him to, he's there, clean.
Yes.
Cook, I even show him how to cook. Just in case our helpers, they don't come in. I always have like a
backup plan. And who is Mr. Harmon? Like, who is he to you?
Oh, Mr. Harmon is my husband.
Okay. Yes, and he, I wanted to bring him on camera, but he said not today. But he will always greet you with a loving, warm smile, even when he's stressed, even when he's pressured. But both of them are a great oil machine, great team for this establishment, and that's why it's been successful for 15 years. Right. In addition to Mr. Harmon, you want to talk a little bit about your family, your kids, grandchildren?
Yes. I have two children, a girl and a boy. I think now you know Kisa Jackson.
Yes.
And I also have Boyma Warity.
Yes. So, and Kisa is also known as Queen Kisa with a K. But you guys are going to meet her sooner or later. And what about your grandkids?
And I have two grandkids, Amar Jackson and Yari Hashem.
Their family is dynamic, they're talented, and they are very special. And I'm not trying to veer away from Aunty Konor, but it's just a testament of what she produces, the legacy that she creates. And they have definitely been a part of Zoewe's history and success of coming here and her grandson Ahmad working like crazy. But that same work ethic that Aunty Konor possesses, he does as well. So just want to call that part out. So as I said, Aunty Konor is one of those community aunties that helped to raise me and my sisters along with a lot of other generation of kids, right? One thing which she keeps bringing up, the faith aspect, the woman that I am today, of course, those who know my mom, she was a woman of faith all day, every day. And so we definitely have that legacy of faith from our mom. But it's a community of family, of aunties that further help with that development of faith. We grew up in the Liberian prayer group, which is like kind of say the Baptist faith. We will meet, from home to home. My mother was one of the leaders. Well, she led it, but there was other leaders, right? She was just leading the charge. Aunty Konor was one of those leaders that helped to build that foundation. And so talk a little bit about faith, the faith that you established here and the faith that you helped groom within us, not just your kids, but within us as well.
what I actually miss in Charlotte, when we were in Charlotte, when Janet mom was living, she was a very strong Christian woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought us together
Yes.
and made us to believe that if we pray and we believe, nothing is impossible.
Yes.
And we really show off. One of the main places when we had a convention in Florida, Orlando, Florida,
Yeah.
the Charlotte prayer group went down there. But when we hit that hotel, Orlando, Florida knew Charlotte was in the house because we prayed. The customers that were in the hotel, they came out and joined us. We had it locked down.
Yes.
That's how I knew, because we have prayed before coming downstairs.
Yes.
That others will see God in us and join us. And actually our prayer will answer.
Yes.
But what I was seeing from the beginning, we were a very strong prayer group. And everybody was like, we were like a village. I could talk to anybody, child. I could advise you without even telling your mom, I'm going to talk to Janet today.
Yeah.
And Janet and myself will sit and have a good conversation.
Yeah.
But nowadays, since Major died, although they have prayer group, it's not like before. And the kids ready now, they're coming in Charlotte. Like when we were here, and I was cooking from home, we had a lot of Liberian kids that did not have parents in Charlotte, but they were students going to college in Charlotte. And we all put hands around them. And they were at our house, welcome anytime.
Right.
They eat, and it was just a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
But now I don't see that in Charlotte no more.
Yeah.
And we are not no more our brothers keeper in Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that's good perspective that you've made, and we all recognize that, right? And I think something we need to recognize as a community is things change, time progresses. And so what we had growing up, it was still a large Liberian community, but it was a smaller, close-knit community. The community has grown, I don't even know the numbers, but it's too many to count. Hundreds, maybe even thousands, right? In Charlotte specifically, not even talking about in the other states. So how can we recreate what was then and make it relevant to this time? Make it relevant to the mindsets, right? So continue that legacy and establish something new. And you may not have an answer to that, but that's my question that I keep asking myself, right?
Like what you're doing now.
Okay.
Reaching out, we the parents, the older parents, and we the parents from at that time. Because as my granddaughter always tell me, say, Grandma, people evolve all the time.
Yeah.
So I asked her, I said, but what do you mean?
Yeah.
She said, Grandma, there's a new generation. Say things they bike. Although for us that you're instilled in us will stay ready. Because even when we fall, we get up. But for this new generation, things change. Say, Grandma, you won't know, like the computer, the technology this time. Say, like you, if I put you in front of a computer, maybe you know how to get in and out.
Yeah.
But for me, when you see me on the computer, you think I'm a hiker on the computer. That's what she told me last week.
Yeah.
So we, the parents, really need to get out there again. Because we used to really care.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
but
right.
nowadays, we're holding back because of these new people that are coming into Charlotte.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't talk to this person.
Yeah.
But if we try to reach out like you, Janet, the way you're doing, you're reaching out, you don't reach out to one group, you open up, you know. So I think that's why we just have to go back into our practice, what we used to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to circle back a little, still on the faith topic, but you talked about my mom, and you know we all know the value that my mom had in this community as it relates to her leadership role and her faith, right? But even in thinking back on Rosehaven, before my mom was the leader of any prayer group, we would just come together. It was at your house, and after several meetings that she was, or I guess you could say ordained, you know, to lead the charge. But initially, if you be honest, and it's not even about who's, you know, whatever, but you led the charge. You opened up your home, right? You cooked your food in that shortbread we would have after each tarry. Can you talk about that, your leadership role? And the thing is, you probably don't even look at it as such because that's just what you do. But it was major right? So you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes.
What you created?
Yes. Actually, Mildred was the leader. Although the prayer group started from my house, because we had invited a friend from Liberia, and I called Mildred to meet this friend.
Yes. Yep.
There, but before that, we used to get together, we talk, and Mildred was surprising. Mildred is Jonathan's mom.
Yes. Sorry.
She was a very good listener.
Yes.
And you would tell her anything, the first thing she would ask you want someone to hear what you're telling me? She said, if not, you will not hear it from me. You will not hear it out there.
That is
and
true.
that's how we began to put confidence in Mildred. We started taking her as a big sister.
Yes.
And we started making her the lead. Actually, she said, oh no, they could come Madia here. Madia is more into, we said, no, Mildred, we want you to do this.
Yes. Yes.
You see something in you what maybe you have not seen. So that's how it used to start. But what I was doing, I used to work in the background.
Yeah.
I would see things, I would hear things, I would know things, and I would share it with Mildred first before we bring it out on the floor to the prayer group.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
how it started. But we are very, very close knitted.
Yes.
Loving. We could advise each other. I could look at Mildred, she was older than me, and tell, says Mildred, I want to sound right.
And that's what it's about. You know, everyone is always in their feelings when someone doesn't agree or it looks like there's resistance. But how do we evolve if we don't challenge each other? How do we evolve if we all think the same? Right? And when you speak about, you know, sometimes there's the pinning against each other, like those Liberians who were born here versus those that were born there versus those that are just coming versus those who were born there but been here for years and have a business established. People look and compare. But I always say there is a reason why I was born as a first generation Liberian American. There's a reason why you were born where you were born. There's a reason why those are they're still over there and those that are coming. We all have different purposes. We all have different views and skills and knowledge and influence. So yeah, I can go on and on, but thank you for painting that picture of the legacy of faith and leadership. So yes, while my mother Mildred Capel was the leader, Aunty Konor was a part of the leadership team, and she was the servant leader that will serve in the background. Some of that food we were eating, nobody knew who cooked it. It was her. It was her and of course a bunch of other aunties, but I'm just recognizing her contribution as it relates to the history of all that. So thank you again for that, Aunty Konor. Before we wrap up, I forgot about a very important person who also was just a big factor and a giant within the Liberian community who's no longer here. But it's Aunty Konor's mom, Satu. So you want to talk a little bit about that sweet spirit? Oh Lord, I miss my Satu.
Yes. My mom's name was Siatu. We call her Siatu. Actually, her name is Siata.
Okay.
But she said when she had my brother, when my brother was growing up, my brother used to call her Sia Sia. And she said when she had me later on, then I started calling her Tutu. So she said one day I just looked at her long time and said, your name is Siatu. So and where we came from, Ravasburg, Grand Cape Mount County, we had missionaries there at the Episcopal High School. So even the white missionaries that are there, she used to tell us, say, even the missionaries calling me Siatu. Yeah, but she was a very humble person. Very humble. Very, very humble. I used to get mad with her sometimes. I say, you need to speak up. But then I found myself, kids are telling me it now. Say, Mommy, you need to speak up. I used to hear you telling Grandma,
yes,
Grandma, you need to speak up. You don't agree with everything. You always want to make peace. So I told her, I say, well, that's part of it. That's part of the upbringing.
Yeah.
But she was a very strong Christian woman. And for one reason, and I would like to point it out, I got sick because I suffered from lupus. And it was this time when I got really sick. And my mom was kind of confused. She didn't know what to do. So she asked me. She said, she used to call me Konor. She said, Konor, I want to talk to that your friend. I said, who my friend? She said, Sis Mildred. Oh. I said, oh, go ahead, talk to her. No problem. She said, yeah. She said, God has just laid her on my heart I really need something I see in that lady. I want to talk to her. So I said, all right, so I will tell Major. So this day we call Major, but the day Major was coming, she and Madia came. Madia Smith, we also rest in peace.
Yeah.
And we pray and everything, and then Madia left, and Major stayed in the Bible. Then she told Major, said, they could not tell you, I want to talk to you. Major said, yes. And then she went to talk to him. First she prayed with Major. She said, I'm begging you, this prayer group you have started in this place. Say, I don't think it's for nothing. I think it's something God has put in you. Please, because Major used to tell, no, I don't want to be leader.
Yeah.
Then she would tell me, she said, you know, Konor, I was not here from the beginning, and you know, people came to your house before me. Then the old man told her, said, no, it's you God called me. It's you God want to lead. So I beg you, it's a load that you have to carry, but He will help you carry this load. Just pray towards it, and don't search your mind. And He will lead you, He will show you the way. Then she told me just something about the Bible. I think Aaron couldn't talk. In the Bible, Moses' brother, because I think God wanted Aaron to lead the Israelites. And Aaron said, I can stumble or something like that.
No, that was Moses. Yeah.
Say, I can stumble.
Yeah, the
and
stutter.
Then God said, I will give you someone that will talk for you.
Yep. But everything you're painting, yes, is bringing back to memory. Because my mom didn't want it. She was like, oh no, I don't have my minister's license and all that. Did Jesus have a minister license? I'm just curious, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, just the history of the faith, the legacy of everyone that was a part of it. And I said my Satu, that's my lazy way of saying it, is my Siatu, right? Yeah, so you are definitely missed. She's definitely missed, but thank you for that sweet memory of her. She will always come and just always have a nice word or even a parable. I don't even know if she used to try to give us candy and stuff. But yeah, always. But yeah, definitely love and miss. So we're going to wrap this up because there's some hungry people that are starting to enter the restaurant. But this has been a really awesome conversation, and this is actually, you know, kind of sparked and ignited some motivation as it relates to what we did in the past and how to recreate it for this new Liberian community that we have. So more to come, but I will be speaking with you, Aunty Konor. But to wrap this up, so Social Life Production, like I said, for July, is hashtag July Takeover, repping our set for LIB, hashtag rep your set LIB. And so I want to end this conversation with rep your set LIB. Aunty Konor, how are you repping your set for Liberia while you're here in America?
I'm trying to actually. We came to America actually to learn. We in the Liberian community, we can say we're hustling. But actually the hustle part is there.
Yeah.
Because we work and that we take care of ourselves, our people back home. But actually when you travel and when you go among people, you try to learn, open up yourself. Because it's not everything that we learn at home or that we learn from our parents. So we learn from friends also.
Yes.
Even like this cooking, certain things like akubuneko, maybe bad dishes. But I learned from other tribes, you know, other friends that were on birthday from different tribes. And I learned from it. So as we come to America and we learn these different things, it's a new system. We are not exposed to all of these things in Liberia. I hope and pray the good ones that we learn, that we'll be able to take it back home. The whole Liberia is changed now, but me, I personally believe Liberia will rise again. Yes. So as Liberia rise, we should try to rise for Liberia. What we learn here, we go home, we should try to show what we learned here and leave all the bad ones, all the tough times, and just carry good memories and try to bring Liberia back again. Because Liberia is our home.
Absolutely.
Whole generation lost our Liberia. That people that were born during the war, they don't even know Liberia. Like one of my nieces, she was born during the war, but she don't even know Liberia. And then when I call in Liberia, just because they came as babies.
What you're saying is directly related to a conversation I just had this morning. I used to use the specific words. We use the words of rising, and yeah, we know the country, we know all the negative things as it relates to the country. I can't say we because there's individuals who aren't familiar with Liberia, right? But it's just like America. It's a lot of negative things you can say about America, but there's a lot of positive things, not so much about the country, but the people. And so whenever I describe Liberia, I never describe it from the lens of the poverty or whatever corruption that may be involved. I describe it from the richness that's sitting here, the legacy of the richness that's sitting here as well. And so with you repping your set, what I heard is rep your set by, owning your culture and being a proud Liberian, but learn so you can go back and help, not only there, but those who are coming here.
Yeah.
So Aunty Konor, you are doing an awesome job. I am so proud of you. If I had a bouquet of flowers or something to give you, I would, but just continue to be the giant and the leader and influencer that you are. The influential, we also have a hashtag Liberian influential. You are definitely one of those. But just thank you, and I hope that you'll continue to excel for another 15 plus years. Is there anything you want to say before we close out?
Yes, I would like to tell you thank you, and thank you to Tanya. As I sit here today, I'm very proud. Not because I own Zoewee. I'm proud to see Tanya, because I'm seeing y'all, what we put in y'all. I'm seeing it in y'all.
Yes.
So it makes me so proud. The only part I hate in that, I wish my sister would have lived to see, because she always tell me, Janeba strong, she tell me, I wish she could have lived to see this part of you. Yeah, this part of you, like when she was she was strong. Hold up. I'm very, very proud. The work you're doing around Shada, you're really keeping it together. You remind me of Major, and I wish you continue to do more. And I wish we, the parents, will get together to continue doing more, encouraging all our little girls that come here, because they come in, some of them don't even have parents living here, and they go through things. So what I try to do, I try to adapt them. Like this little girl, she got created. Yeah, she got created. So I call all of them my daughters, and my nieces. I try to encourage them, and all of those things.
That is beautiful.
So I wish we, the mothers, will continue to do that more and more.
Yes, I love it. We can go. I want to keep going, but we're gonna have to stop. She tried to make me cry, but I wasn't crying. It was like, I don't know if y'all cutting onions in the back. It was making my eyes water. But thank you so much, Aunty Konor. This has been so special. I didn't even expect all of this, but this has been very special. But thank you so much.
Thank
Love
you
you
very
dearly. Mwah. All right, y'all come out to Zoewee.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now turn straight, like towards me, facing me. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Very nice.
All right, it's a wrap. How do you feel, Aunty Konor? You feel good? You ready to do another interview? Awesome job.